Now, despite having lived in the UK for nearly 2 decades, I still enjoy eating Nigerian food regularly. Sometimes the ingredients are readily available, but other times they can be difficult to get and rather expensive. Well, plans are underway to make African food produce easier to come by in Western countries. This week, the UK Department for Business and Trade hosted a food and drink expo in London. And for the first time, 3 female traders from Africa joined others from Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, as well as the Americas, to showcase their goods and develop export contacts. Stephen Tipman is the Executive Director of the Trade Facilitation Office of Canada, which facilitated the participation of the Africans. I asked him how much agricultural produce is exported from Africa to the rest of the world.
We think that instead of looking at it through the lens of how much trade there is, because there's no doubt that there's not nearly enough, and there's great products from African nations, and so we're here to really display and to show the types of products that have the great potential for the future. We believe that there's tremendous opportunities for African countries to be able to export more to countries like the UK.
I've just come back from Nigeria myself, where I went to a fruit market and I saw a lot of mangoes at this fruit market rotting on the ground, oranges as well. These people are unable to add any value to this produce to sustain it or to sell it abroad. Meanwhile, you come into a supermarket here in the UK and very few mangoes and oranges that aren't too sweet. Why aren't foreign countries looking more to Africa to get such produce?
I think part of our role at the TFO Canada is really to, on the one hand, supporting the exporters, so building their capacity, helping them so that they're able and they're ready to be able to export to markets like the UK. On the other hand, it's really about educating, helping. We see ourselves as being a partner, a sourcing partner for UK-based buyers, Canadian buyers, American, European buyers. And so we really want to try to help bridge that gap so that there's a greater sensitization to the great products that are available from our African partners.
Now, you are concentrating at this expo on the women folk. Why is it so important to get them involved?
Well, I have to say that women, empowering women is fundamental to the work that TFO Canada does. In fact, this project that is really, taking care of the activities that we're doing here in London, it's funded through the Canadian government, and it's called Women in Trade for Inclusive and Sustainable Growth. And so we are here empowering women, helping them to gain access to markets, because we know that the development impact is really and can be very substantial. Women who are gained access to markets can grow their businesses, and the knock-on impact in development is that they are enriching the communities where they come from, which means that they're employing more people. And another impact is that there's a greater potential that kids stay in school and get the education that they need.
And are the people at this expo, are they listening to your message? Are they heeding it? Are they running with it?
I have to say they certainly are. I mean, when, looking at the traffic that arrived when they opened and they had the ribbon cutting Monday morning at 10 o'clock, and seeing the number of people coming by the stands, asking questions, sampling the products, we are quite optimistic that the message is resonating.
That's Stephen Tipman from the Trade Facilitation Office of Canada.